singing and kind of was interested in music. I think she studied music also. Then later on, she kind of married early. She went to Taiwan to stay with her husband. And she used to say the stories about Taiwan, the kind of the initial fledgling kind of country which was there, still under dictatorship. It was not a democracy also, and the poverty she saw. And then she gave stories about learning karate, and she used to kind of always be proud of that period, of learning something which was very kind of exotic, going to Thailand like Chiang Mai and Cambodia and those countries she had the opportunity to go. So she found or met monks in the first time in Thailand, and kind of saw how they were functioning, how they were living. And that time also she had no idea about where it will lead her. So she had a kind of connection with the East, and there was a lot of things which were happening, I think, from her grandfather's time. And then later on, she had difficulties in her life and other things happened. She had a brain stroke, and her memory part was, they thought that she would not be able to remember and recollect anything. So that's the reason she was on disability payments from the government. She was getting support from the government. And in this scenario, she was in Washington, and somebody said, try meditation or something like that. So she was on a bicycle going around looking for a place, and she found this Washington Buddhist Vihara, I think. So that is the name I remember. So she went there and asked, is there any teacher who can teach me meditation? And they say, oh, there is one teacher coming from Malaysia, Bhante Vimalaramsi, and he will be coming there tomorrow, and he will take a class. So she was saying, okay, I'll come and meet him. And that is how she met. So she met Bhante the second day, or the first day where Bhante was giving the first class. She met Bhante. She also went to an Indian place, that is a American Indian place, where she kind of tried to gain back her memory. Then Bhante used to teach her how to recite Itipiso, and how to kind of gain her memory back. And you will see that many times she used to forget a lot of things, but she can quote from the suttas, and she could kind of say, oh, this sutta is from this and this paragraph. She will remember those things. But if you had a conversation just one day before, and I would say, oh, we discussed this, I said, no, I don't remember us discussing this. But she could remember the suttas and the Dhamma. Dhamma was her kind of the main thing which she really understood and kind of appreciated. So that is one thing I kind of always remember of her, that those parts where whenever she was able to communicate and give that information when it is needed. So that was one of those things which I kind of remembered very well. So this was a kind of a lot of things, I think, was connected. And how she came to India is also an interesting story. So I was there with in Sri Lanka. I met her in Sri Lanka, and then somebody came to the Sri Lankan Vihara and said that, oh, there is Bhante who introduced me. I have a Vihara just next door. Come and visit sometime. She said, okay, I am ready to come. When can I come? He said, no, no, I am going just now to Malaysia. And there is a Sri Lankan Buddhist Vihara in Malaysia. So I will come back and only then I can meet you. Then Sister Khema said, okay, then maybe I will meet you in Malaysia. And he said, no, you can come. I know the abbot. You will be welcome over there. And just that casual conversation she had, she went to Malaysia, and they welcomed her. They kind of gave her a room. They gave her support. They even kind of asked her to go to ceremonies. And there were some adventures in that ceremony also. Once she kind of returned late, and then the Buddhist, Sri Lankan Mahavihara was closed. So she always had adventures in her life. So that happened. And then in that Sri Lankan Buddhist Vihara, there was a lady who came. I remember the surname, Cobra Gade, I think so. So the lady who came was a professor in a university. She said that, come to India, I am on a tour to see how other countries practice Buddhism. So I'm in Malaysia also, I'm visiting all the viharas. So if you are free and are willing to come, then you come to India and I will host you. So then through that, she went to India. And she asked me to kind of coordinate between her and the lady who had invited her. So I was coordinating with her. And then when she came over here, she kind of found that people were very friendly, and they were kind of, she was also not very choosy or demanding. And Bhante was also not very demanding. He never said that I want this, or I want an AC room, or I want this room to be this way. He was always okay with anything which was there. And Sister Khema was also always okay with whatever was there. And she was kind of happy to have the conversations and all these things. And that led to her meeting another monk, Bhante Ananda, and they took her to Jethavana, which was in Yavatmal. And they invited Bhante Vimalaramsi that, oh, if they are coming, then maybe they can have a retreat over here. So then that led us to bring Bhante to India. So it was meeting one person to another person, and then the sequence of events led to the Bhante being kind of invited, and we started organizing. Then somebody, one of his old students, he had been to Missouri a long time back. So Saurav Kapoor, he arranged one retreat in a deer park. And we arranged his retreat over here. And then there was another retreat which was arranged, I think, in Pune. So that way, the cycle of retreats started. And later on, the last time Bhante came was in 2020, when just one day, the day before the long shutdown was announced. He was there on the Sunday, which was supposed to be one day kind of shut down. That day he arrived in Goa, and we kind of Sister Khema and Bhante were stuck over there for a long time, and we used to kind of support them and kind of give arrange for the food and everything. So I think Dr. Madhusudanji arranged for somebody to kind of come over there and give some food to Bhante and Sister Khema. So that is how that period went. And after that, Bhante could not travel, and then his health also deteriorated. And that is how kind of the whole circle is there, that how there was certain indications from her life that seeing Eastern things to being in kind of Taiwan and visiting Thailand, and then getting in touch with Buddhism. So I think those stories kind of were kind of very entertaining, and kind of giving insight into the karmic cycle also, that how our karmic cycle give indications, and how what we do can come in this life in a interesting manners, how it shows up in interesting manners. So that was an interesting kind of thing, which I feel that her stories and her kind of communication about her life conveyed to us. So I would kind of want others also to kind of join in, and maybe Pierre can start with some of her experiences which was there in the last days here.
Yeah, it's fun in the way that you describe how she went to India, and she went all of these places just kind of on impulse and very spontaneously. That's how it happened for her to come to Poland as well. I had started having a lot of interesting spiritual experiences, and I was looking for a teacher So I was looking around everywhere, and I had practiced some Advaita Vedanta, which I had actually had really incredible experiences with. And then from there, I got more into Buddhism, and I found some Mahasi practice, which was really good, but it didn't really do exactly what I wanted. And so I kept looking around, and then one day I came across a YouTube video with Bhante Vimalaramsi, and he spoke about metta and relaxation being the two kind of core differences from what he was doing to what he was seeing. And those had been two real centerpieces in my own life, with my own development and transformation from kind of who I was before. So watching that interview, I just knew kind of immediately that I wanted to pursue this practice. So I started practicing what Bhante spoke about, and I had some really incredible experiences. And so I was living in Sweden at the time, and I was just so happy with how well the practice went. So I decided I wanted to go to Bhante's website and give a donation. And so I went to the website, and as I went to the website, and I gave a donation, and then I started clicking around on the website, and I saw that there was like a forum, like a little message board, where you could actually ask questions and get direct feedback. So I left just, here's what I'm doing, and here are the results of this, like, what do I do now, kind of thing. And I got a reply from Sister, which in true Sister fashion was the length of a novel with instructions and comments. And I was practicing all day, every day, basically at the time. So I was sitting probably for 6 to 8 hours per day at the time. So it took me 2 days, and then I came back and I had all of these new experiences. And she again replied with the length of a Harry Potter book. And I took those instructions and I practiced again and again. I had really incredible experiences. And she said that, well, it seems like you're really practicing a lot and you're really dedicated to this. I have an online retreat for past students, but you're practicing so much, I think you can join this anyway. So she invited me on to this online retreat, and the online retreat was fantastic. And the last day of the retreat, we had a Q&A session. And as everyone knows, a Q&A session with Sister can go anywhere and probably does go everywhere and touches anything. And so somehow we got into the conversation of, like you said, Bante, like she lived in a little hut, there was no AC, like it is what it is. But it was a record heat summer in India that year. So they had 50-degree heat for a 72-year-old lady from Missouri. It's she was really pushing her comfort zone. And she had some health issues already. So I just made a joke that maybe I should just fly you to Sweden and cool you off a bit over the summer. And yeah, I didn't know Sister much at the time. All I knew that she was a little bit more fiery than I would have expected from a nun. But I honestly didn't know how much. So she said, don't you joke with me like that, young man, because I'm actually crazy enough to go and do it. And I just replied, well, don't you joke with me like that, old lady, because I'm crazy enough to do it as well. And it took about, I think, 3 days, and then we had decided that she's going to come to Europe. But to fly her to Sweden and host her in Sweden would be incredibly expensive, because Sweden is so expensive. My business was doing okay at the time, however, so I figured maybe I can set up a house in Eastern Europe where it's cheaper and also really cool. And then I can probably get a bunch of my students together and she can run some retreats in Europe. And so I messaged Cameron, was on the call, who's one of my longtime students, and he was also doing some back end kind of work for me for the business. And I basically said, "Do you want to come to Poland and live with me with a nun?" At the time, I don't think Cameron knew anything about Sister even, because I had just done this retreat. Is like he didn't even know that we were gonna start doing this twin practice. I don't think he knew what twin was even. It was just like, come and live with me and a 70-year-old nun, and we'll just meditate, I guess. um, and then to finance the thing a little bit more, I reached out to one of my other students called Lubomir, who was a successful poker player. So I told him, hey, would you like to do like a long-term residential coaching program with me and live with me and a Buddhist nun at the same time? And he's like, that sounds cool. That sounds crazy, but that sounds great. So it took a couple more days and we all agreed we would go to Gdansk in northern Poland. I think a week or so went by, and Sister received some pushback from the Dhamma community because, like, why are you going? Wait, you're gonna go and live with a bunch of random male lay people in Europe that you don't know? And then I had some digital footprints as well. They were not the most wholesome, so it was completely understandable. So Sister called me up one day and she goes, "Listen, I don't care. I'm 72 years old. I don't care what anyone says anymore, but I need to talk to you about these things because people are getting concerned." And I'm like, yeah, I had this past and I had these kinds of things online, and like, it is what it is. Like, I understand if it seems concerning, like, it's up to you. She goes, "Nah, I don't care. I'll just tell them to be quiet because this is what I'm doing." Um, and so we booked her a flight, and she came to Poland, and yeah, it's just that's just such a sister move. Just like, no, I just trust my intuition. This is what I'm doing. I don't care. This is gonna be great. Um, and the moment she came to the airport, we picked her up from the airport. She already had several helpers just like around her little finger, just listening to her stories. And she got into the car and she told us 2 hours worth of stories on the way back to the apartment straight away. It was just, yeah, it was incredible. I don't know if maybe Cameron has some things to add to that, but yeah,
Cameron,
that was
please share.
Sister.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing for me as well. My side of the story was, well, I've been learning from Pierre, and Pierre had some real genuine experiences with other different meditation styles. But it was probably like a 2-day period from hearing about Twim to her coming to Poland and me having to set all of that up. And while we were doing this, she had this kind of task. I don't know what it was, but she kept, it was some kind of slideshow she wanted to create. And she had decided that I was going to help her. And I'm like, all right, sure. I mean, I was doing a lot of work at the time because I was still finishing at university and I was basically working almost full time for Pierre. I was like, yeah, but it'll be 30 minutes to get this done. About 3 hours later, and she's telling me stories about Dharma, about, you know, what she's doing in India, about her coming to Poland. And I'm like, sister, you haven't even opened the slideshow app. And that was just the experience. I'm like, oh dear, I don't know what we do here. And when we finally get to Poland, and everyone got there a little bit before me, my first encounter with Sister was me, because I was sleeping on the sofa, waking up at 6 a.m. and I just feel, oh, is that a spider on my foot? What is that? What is that? And I'm like, and my eyes are still closed. And I'm like, why is someone tickling my foot? Am I dreaming? What's happening? And I open my eyes and I just see Sister tickling my foot. And she's like, oh, so you are awake. I'm like, well, I am now. And that was kind of the experience of Sister. She definitely, I expected when Pierre was saying we're living with a Buddhist nun, I'm like, okay, I've got to kind of do up my top button, maybe get a tie, kind of be really formal. It wasn't that kind of experience. She was fiery and she was an amazing human. Um, yeah, and she blew all my expectations out of the water. So that was my experience.
And
Yeah,
I
she had
also,
so much personality. It was just incredible. Like she'd be telling stories endlessly. And then you just mention one thing about a sutta or something, and she just switches completely into teaching mode. And she just teaches with such clarity. And like like everything's just so clear and so precise. And then as soon as that's done, and it's just back to this like craziness of how she tells like stories, and like it's like 14 stories at the same time, and she's like all over the place. And you just mention anything about the Dhamma, and it's just like total clarity and precision immediately again. Yeah, it was just incredible. Yeah. I
and
just
I,
gotta go pick up a food delivery here. I'll be right back.
So I also remember that they arranged for a lot of food and diets and everything also for her. Initially, they also they did some packaged diets and other things for her health and everything. So that was a very kind of a kind thing that you kind of took care of her so well.
We tried to give her really healthy food, but she kept
Yeah.
ordering McDonald's, like food like that. I'm like, sister, we need to help you. We're trying to do good for your health. And she was not having any of it.
That is correct. So, anybody else? Hugh, do you want to kind of do? You can, anybody who wants to kind of contribute or join in, just put your hand up and we can kind of call you in. Yes, Hugh.
First of all, I just like to say Sarah very much wanted to be here, but she's not. She has recorded something, so I thought I would just share that
Okay.
for you. So hopefully,
You
so
can
here we
share
go.
that.
Can you? I don't know if you can hear her.
I can see, but not hear.
Ah, okay. One
It's not
moment.
audible.
That's not audible. Let's see what's going on there then. Audio. No, I'm not having joy there.
I think what you gotta do, Hugh, is you gotta share screen in a way where it says it's optimized for sound. If you go to this, like some kind of advanced setting when you do share screen.
Okay, more optimized for video sharing. Okay, let's try that.
This afternoon, but I've been
This works.
reflecting about Sister Kema, in fact, all of today since I woke up. And apologies, I'm on my way to see my parents this afternoon. But I wanted to share with you my reflections and about Sister Kema and our relationship, because for me, she was a wonderfully vibrant and light person in terms of how she presented the Dharma. It was always very fresh and relevant, and anyone who knows her will remember how she would break into song. And one of the things that I think is really important about the Dharma is how we do feel it's real and relevant. And if we're not careful, it can become a topic, if you like, that feels very worthy and also dense. And so Sister Khema was very adept at dealing with a subject like dependent origination, which of course can descend into depth and density. And she had a very real and fresh way of explaining it. And she very much loved the presence of her students. And so I was very fortunate enough to be part of groups that she taught and shared with, and benefited from her light and enthusiasm. So wonderful to have today to specifically remember her, but of course her teaching flows through all that we all live and do, because whenever any teacher touches your heart, it stays within your heart. So wishing you a wonderful session, sharing and remembering the light of Sister Khema. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay, so that's Sarah's message around Sister Khema, and I'd simply like to add. I mean, I first met Sister Khema in 2008. So I knew her for really a very long time, and I can't help just remembering that from the moment I met her to the last time I met her, she didn't change. She was so that enthusiasm for the Dharma was there. Her impatience to share the Dharma was there. And her willingness, as Pierre and Cameron have expressed, her willingness to elaborate the Dharma from the almost limitless library of stories that she had, enabled the practice just to become real, relevant. You could kind of slot it into your spectrum of experience. But she particularly, for someone who had dealt with a lot of complexity and sometimes presented complexly as well. You know, we're talking about having 14 stories running at the same time. You really needed to relax and keep your mind open whenever you were in dialogue with Sister Khema, because trying to individually keep track of everything it didn't work, but it would all come together. And when it all came together in a really, really simple presentation, which captured the essence of the teaching. And I think one of the things that comes through, I mean, her Nevermind book is a wonderful example of that. You know, it's completely about dependent origination, and it's not about dependent origination. It's about life. And that's really, you know, the huge strength that Sister Khema had. She was so plugged into life. She was impatient if the teaching didn't seem relevant to life, because from her perspective there was no other purpose. And so it was an absolute privilege to be with her. But you know, as has been expressed, you couldn't pin Sister down. If you wanted to be with her, you really did have to decide just to be with her, and any other agenda you might have was not relevant in that moment. And I have to say, largely speaking, I mean, she bore her illness so well, and made it another aspect of her teaching. You know, there were aspects of her life which were traumatizing and tragic and difficult, but whenever that came up, it always came up in the framework of, well, what did I learn from this? how did this move my understanding forward? And Sister Khema and Bhante Vimalaramsi together made a wonderful team. You could see that there was friction sometimes, and that was okay. You could see where each filled in the gaps in the other, and that was okay. But I have to say, the documentation of what TWIM is, the presence of the videos, the legacy, I'm afraid we really do have to collectively hold our hand up and say, thank you, Sister Khema, because that is if you like, the huge gift that still continues to give since she's passed. And I think it's a little recognized because it's little understood, that she was so committed to the practice, that it was her personal generosity which established the monastery in Missouri, and financed its start and its development, and that in itself enabled Bhante Vimalaramsi to really focus on developing the teaching, and gave him a base back in America, where I think his teaching heart was in Asia. But it enabled the benefit of that to come into the West. And that's really a tremendous legacy. So from me and Sarah, such gratitude for all that Sister gave, in all its complexity and in all its simplicity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And one of the things you were talking about Dhammasukha establishment, when they went to Dhammasukha, Bhante and Sister Khema, there was only forest. So she personally, with her own hands, cut down the trees, made the space. All the construction which you see is happening because the space which was created. Actually, the space was created by her. She used to clear the forest. She used to make the roads. And I have a photo somewhere, I'll maybe share it in the group, where she is in overalls with a kind of a chainsaw in her hand. And she's kind of cutting down a tree because it has blocked the road. So she went there and she used to go there and cut down whenever the roads were blocked. She made the roads also. She had a small, a machine which was there, earth mover, a very kind of a personalized earth mover. And then she used to kind of make roads from cutting the earth. And that was a lot of work she kind of put in. Like when we say about blood and tears and sweat and tears, or whatever that phrase is there, that is actually what she had done. She kind of got injured certain times. She got hurt, and she got burnt, but she kind of persisted with that. And I think, as Hugh kind of rightly pointed out, it enabled a kind of Bhante kind of to be a teacher who can kind of go all around the world and kind of share his kind of discovery in that sense. He had invented or discovered the true teachings of the Buddha once again. And in the emphasis, I think, is what the teaching lies in, that the world had forgotten the emphasis of relaxing. And that how to kind of embody that relax, also smile. And that is how kind of, and Sister Khema used to kind of embody that smile and laughter and being lighthearted all the time, and helped Bhante in that sense spread and kind of keep his legacy alive. In many ways, what she has done over here in India is kind of amazing in that sense. In the short period she was there, she was not here for a long, maybe 3 years, no, 3 years or so. She was there in India, but she attained a lot over here. So anybody else who wants to share?
Is Vandavi Bhante, and hello
Yes,
to
yes.
everyone.
Yes.
It is an opportunity for me to share about Sister Khema, particularly for the development of meditation practice. Uh, it was time when I had an opportunity to have a conversation with Sister Khema, where I was consistently practicing for a shorter period of time. Let us say it is 30 minutes. Then Sister Kema advised me that why not you try for 35 minutes? Why not you try for 40 minutes? Just increase in incremental of 5 minutes. Then I have started doing it. Really, it has helped me in our practice. I am really thankful to Sister Kema and all our teachers who have made this Dhamma. Thank you, everyone.
Sadhu, thank you for sharing. And anybody else? Ardika had opportunity to kind of host Sister Kema and Bhante and me also. Once I had been in Indonesia.
Yes, well, but unfortunately, I don't really have much interaction with Sister Kema. So I only have a chance with talking with Sister Kema when I was doing the retreat in Malaysia at that time. So I know that Sister Kema came to Indonesia many times before I joined the TWIM, especially learning the TWIM. So what I remember about Sister Kema is that she told me that she was having a lot of grief before she met Bhante. She did a lot of forgiveness. She just said that her family and her husband wasn't really not really in a good relationship, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. So she just told me a lot of things that made her depressed and stressed before that. And then she's like, well, just do forgiveness and everything's gonna be okay and you can be happy. So that's what I remember about Sister Kema. Sister Kema always talk about the what is that? Well, she really loves to explain things, right? In the details, like really detailed. Like I remember when she wrote everything on the big, what is that?
Whiteboard.
The whiteboard, yeah. I think we still have those things, right? The screenshot, the one that we shot there. Like she explained everything about dependent origination and everything. How does it, technically expound everything with each meaning. Yeah. So, well, I'm kind of grateful to ever talk to her. It's just that we don't have much time, and by the time we like to discuss with each other, she already like pretty ill at that time, so we didn't have much time. Yeah, so probably the last time was the last time I talked a lot with her was probably when she was staying with Bante at Goa. That was like when they're stuck there, and it's just that, and she said that she is writing the book, which finally published, and several of Bante's books. It's just that still not finished yet, and yeah, that's about it, I guess. That's what I
I think
remember.
you helped some of those books to be distributed in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So it's just the problem is the Indonesian people, they don't really like to read. That's the problems. They don't read. So
but at least they
that's
get the
one of the
books.
problems. Yeah. So I just handed out to them and like,
Yeah.
hey, whoever want to read it, just get it, just grab it. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's very good. And is there any other person who wants to share? किसी को सिस्टर केमा के बारे में बात करना है, हिंदी में भी बात करना है तो बात कर सकते हैं उनके कहानियों के बारे में या उनके स्मृति के बारे में. मंजुला जी?
Bhante, I want to know. I think Sister Khema started with this online retreat. She was the pioneer for starting online.
Yes, she was the pioneer to start the online retreats in Dhammasukha. Initially, Bhante used to kind of give the reply verbally, and then they used to type and send it to the participants. And she herself also did online retreats. That is how kind of she got the idea that as the connectivity was not there and they were in a remote place and not many people could travel. Still, it is difficult to travel to Dhammasukha. So that is how she got the idea.
Yeah.
You want to share any stories about her? Any kind of interaction?
No, I did not meet her at all.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. I did not realize that. Okay.
I did not meet her.
No.
Vandami
So,
Bhante, I
yes.
would like to share my interaction with sister.
Yes,
Like
yes, Shubham.
yeah, it was the period of COVID. Like I did my first online retreat with Cassandra, Saurav, Dr. Madhusudan ji there. And after that, I really liked this technique. So I thought of attending this retreat, a residential retreat with sister. Uh, I attended this in Jet 1, and the way sister used to teach was really funny. Even though I was unable to understand her language totally, but her presence was really good. Uh, because of her compassionate nature, like even my mother and like other people who were unable to understand English, they used to feel the energy, and that was really good thing for me. Even my mother likes her a lot. And after that, I used to go to meet her in Ulhasnagar. She used to reside in a kuti. So there, as like Ardhi and Hugh mentioned, that she had that big whiteboard where she used to explain suttas, especially link of dependent origination and all. So every time I used to go there, she used to repeat the same, and it was really nice. I'm really happy and grateful for her teachings, and also really grateful because I'm getting an opportunity to spread that teaching now. Yes.
So Shubham,
That's it.
one of the things I remember is that the retreat you did after that immediately there was another retreat, and Shubham got
Yes.
all has said I will volunteer for this retreat and I will get my relatives to come and attend this retreat. And then sister was not very well, so I took most of that retreat, but he
Yes,
kind
sir.
of immediately volunteered and kind of his kind of mindset of service and his confidence in the Dhamma, which was kind of immediately kind of arisen at that point of time, and his calling of all these relatives. And it was a small retreat, and it was a kind of a very kind of everybody found a lot of benefit in that. And now he will be doing full time, helping. The Samta Vipassana and the newly formed trust is Metta Insight Foundation. We will kind of now this is the Metta Vipassana way we are named it now because Metta Vipassana was the title given by Sister Khema itself. So in many of her writings, she had mentioned Metta Vipassana. When many of her posters also or promotional things she was mentioning Metta Vipassana. And many of the posters also we had mentioned in as far back as 2017. So Shubham will be full-time assisting us, and basically he will become the face of TWIM in India in that sense. So he will be the nodal point where everything will kind of uh, revolve around his activities and his energy. So we kind of wish him well, and sister would be really happy to kind of see you in this role. You know, that she was really very generous also in her way, and I think it would have made her very happy to. And she always liked the young energy and all those things. Uh, and I think they can also, Cameron and Pierre can also say that she was really good with those them over there, and she kind of felt at home. You know, she at her heart she was a kind of a young person, And she kind of was, okay, we'll go over here, and we went over there, and we want to go to that restaurant and all those things immediately when she was there. So she was young at heart in that sense till the end. And I think she would be really happy to see this go to the next generation, to see them kind of work at it. And like Sachin is there, Sindhu is there, Shubham. Raj is also now kind of helping us a lot. So these are the things kind of should really be happy to see. And it seems that 2 years have gone. It is such a fast time passes so fast, and I was just, I didn't even realize I was seeing something else. I think Raj updated the page. And I saw Sister Khema's page she updated, and he was asking for some photographs. So I shared some photographs with Raj. And then I saw the page, and I said, oh, it is upon us. Yeah, now in 10 days time, it would be again an anniversary for her, second anniversary. So yeah, so that is how it is, the time passes, the impermanence of everything which is there. We kind of take everything for granted. Buddha said that just recollect that even the breath which is there, this could be our last breath. That is the kind of understanding of impermanence we have to gain. And this kind of helps us in the Dhamma sense to see the impermanence of time and impermanence of the energies which are there, and how those energies, when they are there, we don't appreciate it as much. But when they are not there, then we kind of really see the positive points. And when we are there, we can maybe over focus on the negatives. So that is kind of a lesson also. And I think anybody else who wants to share? Kuntal, would you like to share some words?
Bhante, I just never, of course, met her, but I was there on that one Zoom meeting, when she was, I think she was in Hungary, if I'm not mistaken. She was in Budapest, or was it Romania? I'm sorry. This is not long before she passed on. And of course, I'd only heard of her. And then just that dynamism and that voice, I remember, what was she saying? She was saying, just smile, or she was saying something like that. In that, it was, what a level of conviction, it was, I mean, the energy was, like everybody has said, it was absolutely amazing. And then I remember she was unhappy with something, and she was saying, oh, this is lousy, and this is just not right. And, but there was not a trace of aversion, and there was not a trace of any ill feeling. It was really wonderful. So just really feel lucky to have even met her that once online. And of course, to have been practicing, the forgiveness meditation. You forwarded me those.
Yes. Yeah.
Most of the
whatever is the material is there. It was her kind of creation.
Yeah. So that's what started me onto him. If you remember, when I came and you said, okay, now you give me those papers, and you said, start this. So what more can one say?
Yeah. That is all which is there about Dhamma, her focus. So anybody else? आप कोई हिंदी में भी करना चाहता है तो कर सकते हैं. गौतम मंसोड़ जी है यहाँ पे. Maybe nobody wants to share. Saurav, you want to share something?
I will share.
Sindhu.
Yeah.
Cameron, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to share something.
Yes, Cameron. Yeah.
So, I mean, listening to all of you guys sharing was wonderful, and it stirred some more stories coming to me, particularly towards the end. And I remember when Hugh was speaking, actually, he talked about how she walked the talk, really. She would spread Dharma, but mostly she would live it. And she did that not just when things were going well, but she did it, in the hospice. And she made it a light place, but it wasn't a particularly nice place. It was in Hungary, which in the winter, and it was a hospice, and it wasn't the nicest of places, but she lit it up, and you noticed we would visit her, and the first day you're like, oh geez, oh, can't believe she's got to be here, but it was the only option. And then we come back a few days later, and suddenly it feels a bit lighter, and you notice the other people in the hospice, the other patients, were a little bit more alive, right? We're a little bit more lit up. And suddenly, I mean, they used to have these kind of lunches, and like barely anyone would show up, but people seemed to be showing up more together. And she was smiling and talking about the Dharma throughout all of that experience. And even she fell into a coma for the last few weeks. And Pierre might be able to describe this story better than me, but I remember we would read the suttas to her, right? There was two particular suttas, 6 sets of 6, and the Anathapindika Sutta. And we would read that every day for like the last 2 weeks while she was in a coma. And I remember we would do this, I think it's a type of prayer at the end where you give gratitude
Sharing
to
merit.
sharing merit. That's it. Yeah, yeah. And Pierre was sharing merit. And we knew this pretty well by now, but Pierre made a small mistake. And this is not a lie at all. She had been in a coma for 2 days at this point. She hadn't spoken, she hadn't moved for 2 days. And she literally gets up a little bit, corrects Pierre, and finishes the sharing of merit. And that's the last words that I heard from her. And it just kind of, not just throughout her life, but right at the end of it, she walked way more than she talked, and she talked a lot. And so I think that was really what she left here for all of us. And so I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, I do remember that sharing, and you had just spoken to me also after that, and really I kind of like appreciated your efforts also, and I could see that in the coma also she had that mind of the Dhamma, and I'm really sure that because of the last reminder is what the mind is there. Where it goes to the next destination, it depends on what is the mind in the currently, and that you have helped in that sense. Pierre and all the group has helped her kind of be in that mind of Dhamma in the last phrases of her life, and I think that would have ensured her going to a kind of a beautiful destination, I'm sure. Yes, Vimutto, if you want to share, you can share.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
नमस्ते. हाँ, नमस्ते बंदे जी.
आप हिंदी में भी बात कर सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
जी जी बिल्कुल. तो तब मैं मेत्ता विपස්සना मैंने जो 2019 में किया था पहले, तो वहाँ पे जो भंते विमलरामसी, कांति खेमा और आप भी थे धम्मगवेसी करके, तो वहां से ही मेरी जो मेत्ता विपස්සना के जो क्यूरियसनेस थी, तो वहां से ही चालू हुई थी, और वहां से ही मेरा इंटरेस्ट है तो मेडिटेशन में बढ़ गया था. फिर टॉक्स सुन के, जो इनसाइट टॉक्स है उनके सुनता था, और उनके सुनने के बाद ही मुझे पता चला कि लाइफ क्या होती है, ट्रू क्या होता है, और जो विजडम है वो क्या होता है, जो मेत्ता है ब्रह्म विहार मेनली, तो वो क्या होता है. उन्होंने इतने अच्छी तरह से समझाते थे कि वेरी सिंप्लीफाई करके वो बताते थे. तो वहां से ही जो धम्मा से जो धम्म है तो उससे इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ था, और इन्वेस्टिगेटिव जो माइंड है, नेचर का माइंड, तो वहां से वो समझ में लगा था कि जो है वो जो दिखता है वो है नहीं. जो दोष है, राग है, मोह है, इसमें ही मन फंसा हुआ रहता है, अंधकार में डूबा रहता है. जो ब्राइटनेस है सत्य की, धम्म की, वो किस तरह से धुंधली हो जाती है और वहां तक पहुंच नहीं पाते थे. ये चीजें डीपली बहुत ही उनसे ही समझ में आई थी. और उनके रिट्रीट करने के बाद ही लाइफ का जो क्लियरिटी है वो बहुत बेटर हो चुकी थी, क्योंकि उनकी जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेवल थी वो बहुत ही कमाल की थी। और जो हंसते हुए जो वो सिखाते थे, तो उनकी जो टीचिंग स्टाइल है थी वो वेरी हैप्पीली और वेरी खामली, वो इंटेंशली वेरी ट्रू नेचर से वो बताते थे। तो बहुत ही कनेक्टिव फील करता था मैं उनके जो टॉक्स अभी भी सुनता हूँ। जो टीम कॉन्सेप्ट है तो वो वेरी रिसर्चफुल, वेरी डीप रिसर्चफुल उन्होंने बनाई है। और जो रिसोर्सेस उन्होंने क्रिएट किए हैं संस्था के लिए, वो उनमें बहुत ही उनका कंट्रीब्यूशंस है। और इंडिया में उन्होंने डिफरेंट डिफरेंट एरिया में रिट्रीट ऑर्गेनाइज किए और वहाँ पे उनकी टीचिंग्स बताई, यूनिवर्सिटी में जाके बताया। तो कंट्रीब्यूशन है मेहता विपස්සना के लिए उनका, तो बहुत उनको याद करना बहुत जरूरी है। और बहुत ही लेजेंडरी और रिमेम्बरिंग पर्सन है, तो इनके लिए जो अपने हृदय में श्रद्धा, अपने टीचर के प्रति श्रद्धा भाव होना बहुत जरूरी है। तो मैं मेरे लाइफ में बहुत ये मुझे गिफ्ट उनके जरिए जो मिला, तो मैं खुद को खूब खुद के प्रति ग्रेटिट्यूड फील करता हूँ। और उन ये नेचर ने उन पर्सन से नेचुरली मुलाकात हुई, और उनके जरिए मुझे ये मेडिटेशन, मेत्ता विपसना, और जो मेनली मजहब निकाय सूत्ता, तर वो जो फोर निकाय है, तो मैंने उनके टॉक सुने। तो अगर ये मेरे जीवन में उनसे मुलाकात नहीं होती तो ये मैं कभी सुन नहीं पाता था। और इतना इंटरेस्ट मेरा धम्म में नहीं रहता था, क्योंकि इंडिया में तो ऐसा कोई बताने वाला है नहीं इतने काफी अच्छे तरीके से। और सुत्ता बेस तो कोई पढ़ता ही नहीं, ये तो सबको पता है। तो इनकी ही जरिए से जरिए मैं सुत्त की बुद्ध की टीचिंग समझ पा रहा था, सीख पा रहा था। तो काफी इनका मेरे जीवन में भी योगदान है, तो मैं उनके प्रति कृतज्ञ भाव भी रखता हूँ। तो मेरा वीडियो चालू नहीं, तो मेरा जो फर्स्ट रिट्रीट का फोटो है मेरे अभी हाथ में है, मैं वो भी दिखा सकता हूँ। तो वो मैंने जो कुछ मेमोरीज है वो संजो के रखी है उनकी। तो ये आपने निकाल के दिया था मेरा ये फोटो, तो वो मैंने लैमिनेट करके रखा है मेरे पास अभी भी वो है। क्योंकि हाँ, तो बहुत अच्छी टीचिंग स्टाइल है जो शिक्षा मेनली। तो वहाँ ये बहुत इजी हो जाता है मेडिटेशन करना, माइंड को समझना। और खूब बहुत ही हेल्पफुल है ये, और प्रैक्टिकल है। डेली लाइफ में इसका बहुत इजीली इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। तो बहुत कुछ चीजें हैं उनके बारे में बताने के लिए। एक बार जब वो जेतवन में आए थी, तो मैं मेरे सिस्टर के साथ उनसे मिला था। और उनको मेरे सिस्टर के बारे में बताया, तो उन्होंने अच्छी तरह उनको सिखाया था कि मेडिटेशन किस तरह से करना, और जो सफरिंग से उससे रिकवरी कैसे करना। ये सारी चीजें उन्होंने काफी इजी इस्तेमाल मुझे इजी करके बताई थी। तो बहुत ही उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन है रिट्रीट में। तो उनके प्रति बहुत ही कृतज्ञ भाव और श्रद्धा पूर्वक भाव होना बहुत जरूरी है।
बहुत
श्रीलंका
अच्छा।
जाके मैं उनको स्मरण करता था, जब उनकी तो उनके जो टीचिंग जो सिखाई उनकी जो शिक्षा थी, मैं उसको उनको स्मरण करता था कि अगर कुछ मैं भूल गया तो उनको क्या बताया था, क्या बताया था, वो रिमेम्बर करके करके वो मैं प्रैक्टिस में फिर से वहां से प्रैक्टिस में चालू करता था। तो बहुत अच्छे है। अभी तो मैं पाली भी सीखा हूँ, पूरा जो अर्ली बुद्धिस्ट टेक्स्ट है उनकी स्टडी की है। तो अभी तो कुछ इंडिपेंडेंटली प्रैक्टिस करता हूँ, तो अभी तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम है नहीं। और इनसे जो क्लियरिटी है, जीने का जो मजा है, तो वो काफी फुलफिल है लाइफ में जो जीने का, खुल के जीने का जो सही तरीका है, वो इनसे ही मैं सीखा हूँ। कि वो किस तरह से खुल के बताते थे, खुल के कैसे सिखाते थे, वो लाहिव मूड में खुल के कैसे जीते थे। इनसे ये सारी चीजें मैंने कलेक्ट करके सीखी है, और मैंने अपने जीवन में उतारने की पूरी तरह से कोशिश की है।
बहुत अच्छा। तो अभी हम थोड़ा मैं इसको ट्रांसलेट कर लेता हूँ। और दूसरे
जी जी जी।
He was just recollecting the retreats he had initially. The retreat which was had was with Bhante, Sister Khema, and I was also present. And he says that his life has changed, and the contribution of Sister Khema and the material she was giving and the style which she was teaching. He was very much impressed, and it helped. He spent some time in Sri Lanka as a monk, and still he used to remember the teachings, and he is back now, and he is continuing the learning and the practice. That is what he is saying. So हम दूसरे को भी मौका देते हैं. तो अभी हम ऐसा रहेगा तो डॉक्टर मधुसूदन जी और सौरभ, can you do you want to share?
Yes, I would like to share.
Yes.
Vandami Bhante. Hello to all. So I was among the earliest people who joined in India. So I first met Bhante and Sister Khema when they came to India, and they were visiting Aurangabad. So they have this Ajanta Ellora caves here. So when I came to know, before that I had only seen them on YouTube, and I was very excited that they are coming to India. And so I went to Aurangabad from Pune, and then they had some lecture in a university. So I met them. So that is my first memory of meeting Bhante and Sister Khema. And incidentally, everybody was messaging them and trying to contact where you will be available and all. So funny thing is, they were like, so at the time, three Saurabhs were there. One was me, one was Saurabh Gupta, I think, and one was another Saurabh was there. So they were like, okay, again Saurabh has come. Saurabh is coming to meet, and I was saying like, okay, I am the Saurabh who had messaged you, and they were like, okay, so you are the third Saurabh that we are meeting. So my earliest memories of meeting them is like meeting Bhante and Sister Khema. Is Sister Khema was the very bubbly and very cheerful person and very happy, and it was not like she had any ego or something like that, that see how enlightened I am or like that. She was so down to earth and so approachable, very friendly, and I used to ask her so many questions that she said, Saurabh, don't ask me so many questions. You scare me sometimes. So I have very happy memories. And even while setting up all trust and all, she was so much involved in all the activities. So it is very difficult to tell everything. I mean, being with a person for so long and so many memories we have. It is very hard to describe everything in words, but yeah, we really miss her in all our activities. Her involvement was there in every step, not just in practice. It was in all the affairs that we require to do for conducting retreats, even printing documents, printing books, everything. So she was very active. So we will really miss her. We are actually missing her. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you were also very helpful in our whole operations and everything. So you've done a lot with the websites and other things also, and
Yeah.
helping us in many ways. So we are grateful for your contributions.
Yeah.
And I think Samir wants to also share. Samir Jadhav.
Vandami Bhante. Yeah.
Yes.
Namaskar Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Bhante, I will just speak for 2 minutes on sister. I began my journey in Pali in her presence when she was around. And today I am a postgraduate in Pali. When I began my journey, I did not feel her importance or the teachings. I did not realize. But during the journey of my study in Pali, I realized how pertinent, eminent, and important was sister's teachings. her spirits were all time high, and just like her name Khanti, which is perseverance, or which has got great importance in Pali, and Khema can be resonated to safety. I would resonate it to Khema theory. So, this is what Khanti Khema all put together is, and I offer my deep regards to her. May her chitta be getting sugati and metta, and surely I am very confident that she has been reborn now in a better realm, and she's happy seeing us all together, offering our good wishes for our further journey in life. And thank you. Vandami Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Very good. And I think Dr. Madhusudan ji has not shared till now. Maybe he can share something. He has been a lot of help to Sister Khema also. Whenever she had any health issue, she would just call Dr. Madhusudan ji, and her medicine always used to work. She was very confident on his help. And other ways also, Dr. Madhusudan ji has helped Sister Khema. You're on mute, unmute yourself.
Vandami Bhante. So I first met Sister Khema in 2009 when Bhante and you and herself, they had come to conduct a retreat at Jetwan. So she was a very cheerful person, always laughing and making others laugh. And she used to carry a piece, a bird's piece, and she used to say, "If you don't do," like that, and to the students. And she used to explain Dhamma in very minute details. Every evening, she used to conduct question and answer sessions. She used to collect questions from the students and explain to the students. Then after that, she went to the Deer Park, and from Deer Park, they went to Delhi. In Delhi, in Dr. Dhar's Dhamma they had some session. And from there, they went to Goa. And in Goa, they got stuck. And from Goa, she started the Zoom meetings. Every Wednesday and Saturday, she started Zoom meetings. And from there, always they used to guide all the students in India and abroad also. So many students used to join. And Bhante and she used to give answers to the questions. And then Bhante left and she remained in India. And she is actually responsible for the spread of TWIM in India. All the retreats which have happened in India and Asia, they have happened because of her only. And she was very much interested in establishing a permanent meditation center in India. And we saw a lot of places on her insistence. She also came to Pune also. There was a place in Ratnagiri, a place in Vashim. We went to many places to look for a place for permanent center. And after Goa, she came to Ulhasnagar. Before that, for some days, she was in Vashind in 2020. Then she was in Goa. Then she was in Ulhasnagar. And from there, we conducted many retreats at Jetwan. We conducted some retreats. After that, she fell ill. And she encouraged me to start teaching online retreats. She also, in Ulhasnagar also, she conducted one retreat. In Pune, she conducted a retreat for Christian nuns. And she was very prompt in keeping the records. She used to write everything. She used to save many things on her computer. She sent me many of her notes, which she had made for on which day which discourses can be played, which suttas can be read. She sent me all that material. She had I think actually prepared a material for children's courses also. I don't know where that material is now. And so she has helped a lot in spread of Dhamma in India. And unfortunately, she fell ill. Had she survived, it would have been a different picture today in India. But fortunately, she fell ill, and then Pai from Australia, he took her to Europe, and she was treated there. And she never came back. Actually, she wanted to come back, but doctors did not allow. You cannot go and you cannot travel on roads of India, they said. And she was very dedicated to Bhante. When she was here and Bhante was ill, when she came to know that about Bhante's illness, she immediately flew to Missouri, and she stayed there for a few days and then came back after Bhante became stable. So she was very much dedicated, and her teachings were very simple and very cheerful, and her videos even today guide all of us. So I pay all my tribute to her. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu. So we have shared, I think somebody pointed out, yes, we have stayed for more than an hour and the time has passed a lot. So if there is anybody last who want to kind of share, then or we can wind somebody wants to share? Or Hugh, you can say the last words and share the merits, and we can.
But can I add something?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because everybody is remembering. Yes, I keep remembering Sister Khema every now and then. Actually, I am a student of Sister Khema on Zoom. I used to join Wednesday and Sunday classes sometimes with Sister. I started practicing only through Bhante Vimalaramsi's talks. And for me, when I joined, the language was not so comfortable. But later on, I started joining regularly. Oh, I really like the energy, just the way she teaches, the way the Dhamma is just like having fun. It's like so strong, deep understanding of Dhamma. Yet the way she teaches was so simple. And I used to enjoy her talks and I wanted to join. And that made me come back to Dhamma. And I showed my daughter as well to her. And from then later on, my practice of Dhamma grew. And if I had any questions, he was like very comfortable. You can ask me anything, and then you can list out the questions or select a topic for any discussion and all. And I think we are really grateful to Sister Khema and the teachings of the Buddha, and to Bhante Vimalaramsi for the technique of the 6 hours. Yes, thank you everyone. Thank you, Bhante.
It's very good. So Hugh, you can maybe share the last words and share the merits.
Just to say that Sister Khema's legacy just continues. The existence of TWIM in India is just a statement of that, and that we're all inheritors of what she spent a lot of time investing in. And the level of her commitment, I think, is the overriding inspiration. And that, for me, is a constant reminder to redouble the sense of commitment to what we're all attempting to do. And understanding that from her point of view, it was always just about the human condition and what can be done with the human condition, and what Bhante Vimalaramsi had discovered or rediscovered, and how that could be practical and relevant and important in people's lives. So that's it, and thank you so much for everyone for joining. It's been really lovely to see familiar faces and new faces, and to have this common thread between us. So let's just finish with the sharing of merit.
Yeah, please.
May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So thank you, Bhante, for reminding us of this anniversary and arranging this. It's been a wonderful occasion.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing and coming and giving your time and heart and love and metta. And that was really appreciated. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may everybody reach Nibbana in the due course. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.